Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight. Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G.
Entel. Live more.
Shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate contemporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from. Your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Who Nigerian first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop? We're always in crisis. Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's stay together.
Hello, this is Weekend File on the NTA. We are live in Abuja. Thanks for joining us. Since the return to democratic government in Nigeria, elections in Ekiti state, especially governorship, have been a combination of surprise and shock due to high unpredictability and sophistication of Ekiti voters. The electorate in the state has the tradition of voting out parties and governments not doing their biddings and not delivering dividends of democracy every 4 years. So every governorship election in Ekiti since 1999 have produced different winners and political parties. Alliance for Democracy AD, People's Democratic Party PDP, Action Congress of Nigeria ACN and All Progressives Congress APC have all had turns ruling in the state at different periods. Will history repeat itself or the jinx broken at the current period? Our fingers are crossed. So tonight on Weekend File, we'll look at the Ekiti's governorship elections as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) continues with collation and counting of results. Our guests are David Akoji, Special Advisor to the Director General, National Orientation Agency, and Chris Agiri, an election observer. I am Kenan Ima Abodiken. First, the news. All eyes on Ekiti. Sorting and counting of ballots expected to have an end date or to end soon. Collation of votes cast is next as eligible voters and contestants describe the election as hitch-free, peaceful and smooth. Timothy Yusuf monitored the exercise and now reports.
The Ekiti governorship election on the assessment by many is successful compared to previous exercises. The aged and youth were all part of the process of the strive for the next governor of Ekiti State.
I'm happy to be voted today, and I'm 18 years now, so I'm happy.
It is done, but we're waiting for final result. So that once the result we can get, so that we know exactly what we found.
Some of the contestants performed their civic duty devoid of hitches.
I tell you that I'm overwhelmed.
It's stress-free. I've just performed it. You know, when I put my finger, I didn't take it. I went to the capture. It gives us, these beavers give people a lot of options. If your finger would not be taken, you know, your facial something will be captured.
Process is seamless. I've just cast my votes and everything went very well. I must commend INEC for the improvement on their last outing. It went very well, and I hope that it's like this across the state. You know, this is just a word or a unit.
From your house here, what do you say about house here? Turnout of voters?
Massive.
We have had relative peace here. So far, so good. There is no limit to the kind of improvement you can have. We are not there yet. I hope with time they will keep improving. They will study what has happened now. They will build on that.
The results collated from the 16 local government areas of the state are expected to be transmitted to the Central Collation Center for final computation and announcement. Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Let's join Charles Alpha live in Ekiti. Charles, are you there?
Yes. Okay. Hello.
All right. Please give us a general outlook of the election. Now, could you please give us a general outlook of the election?
The Ekiti election has been adjudged as one of the fairest, I must say, according to what observers, civil society organizations have said in the history of the Ekiti State since it was created in 1996. And of course, the ballot papers, the sensitive and non-sensitive materials went out this morning early enough. INEC had already said that the election was going to start from 8:30 and to 2:30, and that took off quite well, even though there were some challenges of vehicular movement for some ad hoc staff, to arrive where they were supposed to carry out their civic responsibility. On the whole, at some point, some persons tried to hijack the system. At some point, some polling units that I visited personally, because I was in the local government area, that's Ado Ekiti, and for the areas I visited, they were relatively peaceful. Election went very well, but there was this particular polling unit where they were trying to cause problem. But I must say, those who were on the queue, waiting peacefully to cast their ballot, took care of the situation. Of course, they actually resisted, any form of violence, any kind of vote buying. So after that, 2:30, the election was over in some polling units. Even though the election finished in some polling units, the electorates. One of the interesting things, that I saw from this election was the fact that the electorates after casting their ballots, you could see them waiting under the tree at some strategic points, waiting to see that their votes are counted. From 7:30, those were there at some polling units from 7:30 and even up to 3 o'clock, 4 and thereabouts to ensure that their votes were counted. And if you saw some of the clips I sent earlier today, you will see where some of them were actually waiting under the tree and having some group chats, like that, so that their votes can be counted. It's all new and so encouraging, to see that Nigerians are waking up to their responsibility, and despite some of the challenges that were faced by modal voter accreditation system, work perfectly. Some of the international observers, international local observers that we spoke with, were so impressed about how this election turned out today. And of course, we are already getting to the crucial moment right now in the INEC office in Ekiti, where the media are all set to start collection, and of course that's depending where the collection officers come to this place.
All right, Charles, where are we right now in the entire process?
How? Am I?
Yeah, I say that where are we right now in the entire process?
Yes. Right now we are at the Ekiti Collection Center in INEC, the headquarters, and so far so good. All eyes are now fixed on INEC, waiting to hear, the information that might come from this place. And of course, for those who are politically inclined, we can tell you the kind of anxiety that they are going through right now, and that anxiety can further be, aggravated because as I'm talking to you right now, it's been raining in the past 1.5 hours, and we are anticipating that this might further even impede on the time that it will take for collection officers to get to INEC office. Of course, all the processes that the result will have to go through before it gets to INEC office, from the ward to the registration areas, to the local government collection centers, and then to this place. And so if we begin to look at this whole process, we initially anticipated, given the time it will take for them to be here, and now the heavy rain is on. Even as I speak right now, it hasn't stopped. And so we do not know, the collection officers are not here yet. INEC is not, nobody is here yet. The people you see right now are just media people who are here, who have just set up here and waiting for someone the time when the collection center, the collection will properly start. Of course, this is the most crucial time of this election, and everyone is waiting to see what comes out of this place today.
All right, thank you very much, Charles. Thanks for speaking to us, and good luck to all of you. Let's quickly tell you now that Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale has approved the declaration of Monday 20th to Friday 24th June 2022 as work-free days to enable the state public and civil servants to go to their respective localities to register and obtain their permanent voter cards. This is contained in a statement issued by the State Commissioner for Information, Ibrahim Dosara. The statement directs all commissioners, special advisors, permanent secretaries, other public office holders, party officials, and traditional rulers to monitor and supervise the ongoing voter registration exercise to ensure that all eligible voters within their localities register and obtain their permanent voter cards. Zamfara is said to be one of the states of the Federation with poor turnout for the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise by INEC. Now, Ahmed Bola Tinubu has described President Muhammad Buhari as a true leader, brother and friend who demonstrated a sense of purpose, composure and maturity in the weeks leading to the special presidential convention of the party. In a letter to the president, which he personally signed, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu expressed gratitude for the president's congratulatory letter to him, adding that while all the contestants expected President Buhari to choose his successor, he simply allowed a level playing field. According to him, you belong to everybody in the party and you belong to none of the individual candidates of the party. He congratulates the president for the successful conclusion of the convention and assures him of an issue-focused campaign leading to the 2023 general elections. The office of the President of the Senate says it has seen a video on the social media in which the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, purportedly announced his defection from the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, to the People's Democratic Party, PDP. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awoniyi, explained that the original video clip was mischievously edited to a clip of the President of the Senate reading the letter by Senator Muhammad Adamu Aliero of Kebbi State, informing senators at plenary of his defection from the APC to the PDP. The statement notes that Senator Ahmad Lawan is a committed member of the APC and has no reason whatsoever to renounce his membership of the party. A National Center for the Coordination of Early Warning and Response Mechanism has been established by the federal government. This is in pursuant to Article 58 of the Treaty of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and Article 16 of the Protocol on the Mechanism related to Conflict Prevention Management, Resolution, Peacekeeping and Security. The ECOWAS instruments, among others, encouraged each member state to establish a national early warning center to address issues related to threats to human security as part of the regional body's peace and security architecture. The Nigerian Center is domiciled in the Office of the Vice President and with the support of relevant national and transnational institutions will provide research, analysis and advisory on trends in the human security sector cutting across the environment, public health and governance. A press release by Laolu Akonde, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity in the Office of the Vice President, indicates that other areas the center will focus on include human rights, food security and crime, among others, as well as support government's responses to emergent situations in these domains. The President had earlier approved the appointment of Chris Ngwodo as the Director General of the National Center. Now to security matters. Following the spate of criminal activities across the country, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has directed commanders to maintain high state of readiness amongst troops in the barracks and the theaters of operation. The Army Chief gave the directive at the end of the 2022 Second Quarter Chief of Army Staff Conference in Abuja. Commanders must ensure troops continue to train in anticipation of likely operational tasks.
There should be no hiding place for criminals who have taken up arms against the state, be they terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, or other violent criminals, including secessionists.
The Nigerian Army remained poised to discharge its constitutional roles in support of the civil authority, while commanders are reminded that as the 2023 general elections approaches, troops must remain apolitical and operate professionally.
Review their contingency plans for the provision of security support through an effective mechanism of cooperation with other security stakeholders.
The reviewed Nigerian Army Rules of Engagement and Code of Conduct for Operation Safe Conduct guiding troops during the upcoming 2023 general elections will be distributed in earnest. Now, a middle-aged woman and mother of two is undergoing investigation in connection to the supply of weapons to bandits in Gali Madawa village of Giwa local government area in Kaduna State. The consignment concealed is said to be from Jos and delivered to her in Kawul for onward delivery at Gwaje outskirts of Zaria, from there to be taken to the kidnappers' den in Gali Madawa. Acting on credible intelligence, the police foiled the plan by arresting the messenger at Kawul, Kaduna, before delivering the message. The lady, who claimed to reside at Kwarana Farakwai village along Kaduna Zaria Highway, claimed she doesn't know the person who sent the consignment but was called on phone to collect the message. However, Kaduna State Police Command says investigation is ongoing, after which the suspects will be prosecuted. As political activities continue to build up ahead of the 2023 general elections, the National Human Rights Commission is engaging relevant stakeholders on the need to curb hate speech and other unguarded utterances. Omenka Amarachukwu reports that engagement is coming at the heels of International Day for Countering Hate Speech, set aside by the United Nations every 18th of June.
National Human Rights Commission has joined the fora in complementing the federal government effort by engaging various stakeholders on the need to counter hate speech.
This is a wake-up call on stakeholders, on political parties, on political activists, that yes, you have freedom of expression, you have this freedom to say your mind during this political period, but please remember the boundaries.
As the UN, we are embarking on developing a system-wide UNCT strategy on hate speech, which will then guide us in our work. But at the Nigerian level, UNESCO leads our efforts.
Where the world is today, there is need for us to realize that we cannot move forward. When you talk about global village, it means that we must coexist. And for us to coexist, we must relate to one another in love and peace.
The engagement will also look into issues that will help to take actions to strengthen democratic values and national cohesion, and the promotion and protection of human rights in Nigeria. In Abuja, Omenka Amarachukwu, NTA News.
Let's talk infrastructure, as reconstruction work on Lagos-Badagry Expressway is advancing despite the onset of the rainy season, with all hands on deck to meet the year 2023 delivery date. Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Rajafashola, while inspecting the project, said even at the current stage, the federal government's ease of doing business policy is already becoming a reality along the corridor. Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
As one of the major international corridors in the country, the Lagos-Badagry Expressway carries the desire of the federal government to facilitate international trade between Nigeria and our neighbors via land routes. This 46-kilometer stretch from Agbara to Seme border is part of about 1,040 kilometers of highway linking Nigeria to Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, and as far as Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. After about 7 years of dilapidation, it is now enjoying government attention, with pace of reconstruction work matching the projection of the federal government. Works and Housing Minister, who defied a downpour to inspect ongoing rehabilitation work on the dual carriageway, says with the fund made available by the NNPC under the tax credit scheme, the 2023 delivery date has become more feasible.
On one side, we have 16 kilometers of single carriageway, half of the dual carriageway completed. We will transfer it to the other side. You saw in the early parts from Agbara area where earthworks is going on. Completion time is dependent on weather and so many things. We think that we can finish this early in year 2023.
As government works towards stimulating economic activities along the corridor, the minister notes the need for host communities to own the project by discouraging criminal activities around construction sites.
Our engineers representative here has reported people cutting away sand in wheelbarrow from the abutment and using it to build the foundations of their construction. According to them, the federal government sand, and they are taking their share of the federal cake. But that is not good for the road. It will accelerate the deterioration of the road.
Reconstruction work on the road began in 2018, with the landscape already changing. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
A 33-kilometer federal highway linking Ekiti to Birniwa local government areas under the second phase of the Hadejia to Nguru Highway in Jigawa and Yobe State has been completed and handed over to the federal government for public use. Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu inaugurated the road on behalf of the President Muhammadu Buhari. Mohammed Askira has details.
So we have no any other road that linked Jigawa, Jigawa, Yobe, and Baro except this road. So this road is very, very important to us.
The journey that used to take us 1 hour, the completion of this road has now reduced it to 25 minutes. This road is well constructed such that it's too smooth that we fear nothing when flying it. Before, we were suffering on this road, but now, from here up to Joshua, no problem.
The inauguration of this road, according to these users, has brought to the end of the untold suffering of citizens that defied successive administrations in the past 30 years until the coming of Buhari administration in 2015. President Muhammadu Buhari, represented, says the commissioning of this road is a clear demonstration of commitment to good leadership and response to the plight of Nigerians.
This road has been a nightmare for a long period of time. Intervention of Mr. President, this road is being commissioned.
The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, among other speakers, say the 7 years of Buhari administration has focused on infrastructural development, particularly in the area of road, with Jigawa State one of the top beneficiaries in the country.
These projects represent major investment in road transport infrastructure, which is a commitment of the Buhari administration as a driver for economic growth and prosperity.
The completion of the full length of Hadeja to Nguru Road, residents believe, will ignite and improve business activities of the benefiting states of Jigawa, Yobe and Borno, as well as Niger and Chad republics. From Dutse, Muhammad Askira, NTA News.
The Nigerian ambassador to Togo, Adesina Adebowale, is confident that the bilateral relations between Nigeria and Togo will receive a massive boost with the growth of their volume of trade. The ambassador gave the indication when he received the executive director, Nigerian Export Promotional Council, Dr. Ezra Yakusak, at the Nigerian embassy in Lome, Togo. Comfort Amudu reports.
The federal government's determination to diversify Nigeria's economy in the wake of global economic shocks and dwindling oil revenue, Ambassador Adesina Adebowale hinted that the embassy has been holding talks with the Togolese government on how to strengthen the economy of both countries through trade and investment. The Nigerian envoy applauded the Nigerian Export Promotion Council for its initiative to facilitate trade to the region and West African countries through its non-oil export drive.
There is too much that Nigeria has to put on the table for them to take advantage of. And it is in their taking advantage of the strength of Nigeria that they will find their own strength. So that education is going on. There is no need for any fear of domination on anything. Of course, we have oil, we have a lot of agricultural resources. Just look at some of the things that are on display today. Instead of going to China, instead of going to France, instead of going to Turkey to buy anything, you have it just next door to you. And what Export Trade and NEPC has done, or have done, is now to bring it into the doorsteps of our neighbor. To say, it's there. Just walk into that shop, you see everything, place your order, appropriate pricing, and then you are good to go.
The Nigerian products are making error. They actually yearn for Nigerian products. From the market intelligence report we got, so our products are high up there. Hopefully by 2025, our exports to Togo should pick up over 30%. That's our projection, really. And we're not going to rest. We will do everything to ensure that that projection come to pass.
Nigeria hopes to mainstream informal trading activities in Togo through the Nexport Trade platform to create more opportunities for SMEs in Lome. From Lome, Togo, Comfort Amadou, NTA News.
About 1,000 Nigeria's pilgrims from Nasarawa and Borno states have left Medina to Mecca for commencement of Umrah, which is significant to the Hajj rite. Correspondent Yusuf Umaru reports that the pilgrims left Medina after 8 days after arrival, which is in fulfillment of prayers and visitations to the holy site as recommended by Islam.
The pilgrims were at Zul Hulaifa, where they performed 2 rak'at of salat after taking their spiritual bath before they proceeded on the 4 to 5 hour journey from Medina to Mecca in gratitude to Allah for giving them the privilege of being part of the 2022 Hajj. They are to perform Umrah as soon as they arrive to Mecca, which is part of the requirement for Hajj.
Alhamdulillah, it has been a very peaceful journey so far, and the government have been very supportive, and also we hope with the support we're getting we continue when we get to Mecca.
We have been provided with all other requirements that we are supposed to be given. Alhamdulillah, we thank the federal government of Nigeria, the Hajj Commission, and especially the governor of Borno State.
So far, over 5,000 Nigerian pilgrims have been airlifted to Medina in Saudi Arabia, with first batch of Zamfara State pilgrims being the latest. From Medina in Saudi Arabia, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
You're watching Weekend File on the NTA. It's time for break. Do stay.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has commenced a nationwide operation to verify COVID-19 vaccination records and validate vaccination cards. This exercise will allow vaccinated individuals correct damaged QR codes and confirm personal information like name and date of birth. It will also enable the federal government to validate COVID-19 vaccination cards to identify those that have been acquired fraudulently. To verify your COVID-19 vaccination records, visit www.vaccination.gov.ng/verification-guide and follow the instructions. If newly vaccinated, wait for 24 hours before verifying your records. For intending international travelers, verify your records at least 1 week before your travel date to avoid delays at departure point. If you cannot access the website, call 0700-220-1122. This message is from NPHCDA.
Wash your hands, love each other, we go, we know.
Governor Udom Emmanuel continues to deliver projects that are touching millions of lives across hundreds of communities. A man you can trust. A leader who delivers. A state with endless possibilities.
Akwa Ibom. Amin. Madakanda.
Strength I need every time that I look into your eyes. I know they worry, cause I know say you did by my side. And if I fall away, right in the midst of all my hours, you know that I have my wild love. You always take for me. No matter what I do, you love me unconditionally. So I love me every day, no matter when I show you. You show me love, you show me love.
Shey you dey find ogbonge entertainment? No look far o. Na GoTV dey. Enjoy better film, correct season film sef, boku plus telenovelas from all over the world, football, educational and fun channels for your children. Naija shows them like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? No darling at all o. Go carry your GoTV decoder, go tenner plus 1 month max subscription for just 6,900 naira. Beware stories live. GoTV. Love it.
Are you toothpaste? Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity free.
When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity. Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in
cavity. Colgate is now available in 300 Naira and 500 Naira packs.
Welcome back to Weekend File. With the conduct of the governorship election in Ekiti State, collation of results are ongoing as the people of the state are eagerly waiting for the outcome. Ayodeji Ogunshaki, who monitored the exercise in some towns and communities in Ikole and Ekiti East local government areas, reports that the situation was relatively peaceful, but there were mixed feelings on the usage of the bimodal voter authentication system, BVAS.
Movement of election materials by the officials from the polling points, accompanied by security agents, signaling the end of the voting exercise. It was a large turnout of electors to impress their thumbs on the ballots to decide the fate of who occupies the seat of power in the state among the 16 governorship candidates.
They are attending to us very well, especially the people that is nursing baby.
The electors have been conducting themselves orderly.
Fair election. There is no fight and there is no quarrel.
Among the unique features and value added to the election is the use of bimodal voter authentication system, BVAS, a new technology innovation deployed. While acknowledging the usage of BVAS, electors want the election management body, INEC, to improve on its functionality.
They are facing the scanning machine problems.
This BVAS give people a lot of options. If your finger would not be taken, your facial something will be captured.
Another 4 years into it, or processes that are ongoing, it will get better.
For us to have a clean election, so it's a good one.
The process is okay, but they need some adjustment in some area.
Meanwhile, the by-election to Ekiti East Constituency 1 was conducted at the various polling units in Omo and Isibode Ekiti over the demise of the lawmaker who represented the constituency. Ekiti people are eagerly waiting for the announcement of the results in Ado Ekiti. Ayodeji Ogunshaki, NTA News.
Let's welcome our guests to the program tonight. David Akoji, Special Assistant to the Director General, National Orientation Agency, is here with me in the studio here in Abuja. You're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much.
We also have Chris Agiri, an election observer who is in Ekiti. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, perhaps we should just start with you because you are where it is happening at the moment. What is your own perception or general outlook or overview of the electoral process in Ekiti today?
Yeah, so far, so good. Like I said, my prayer is that the cycle will be completed the way it's been going on this morning, peaceful. I had people interviewed attesting to the free and fairness of it. And the introduction of the device made things much more easier. The problems we experienced in Anambra last November and FCT area council elections in February, what we saw today is the opposite of those ones. We commend the INEC for upgrading the system and deployment of their staffs. The electoral officials were there as early as 6:30. In terms of logistics of distribution of materials and arrival of electoral officials. That is highly commendable. Most importantly, the people were eager to exercise their civic duty. To the best of my knowledge, there has been no report of security breaches or any form of problem. When voters turn out and the voting goes on smoothly, they are happy. The device system worked to 95%, and the INEC deployed in some cases 4 machines, 3 machines, some places, as against what we saw in Anambra and FCT. And security agencies have upped their game. They've really improved. and I commend them for being professional in terms of their conduct and behavior. They sometimes overzealous approaches by security agencies. There's no such thing, to the best of my knowledge. And those things contributed in making the elections peaceful so far. And of course, because this is the first major election after the 2023 Electoral Act was signed into law, I pray that it concludes the full cycle, post-election, and then it will set the tone and pace towards general election in 2023. So I commend everybody that, in fact, the security agents, they are beginning to see the election duty as a national assignment, including the electoral staff themselves. The media, everybody was on ground, the observers, the people themselves. So I just hope and expect that this cycle will be concluded without just the way it's been going.
All right, thank you very much, Chris Aguirre. Thanks indeed for your submissions. We will join you again tomorrow in the process. Thanks indeed.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's come back to David Akoji here in the studio. A very good verdict coming from an election observer himself, the person of Chris Aguirre there in Ekiti State. Does that mean that we are really getting it right this time around?
Well, the point that Chris Aguirre made is heartwarming. I have spoken to some civil society organizations on ground in Ekiti who also participated in the monitoring. And their reports are not far from what Chris is saying, except for some isolated cases of skirmishes, which also was widely reported in social media, concerning the polling unit of former Governor Fayose, where there was a little skirmish but was quickly brought under control. The elections have gone thus far very peaceful, and that's heartwarming. If that indeed will signpost what we would be expecting to see in Osun and in the subsequent general elections of 2023. I think INEC have upped their game. They've improved. There were complaints, just like you heard Chris talked about, about the use of the beavers in FCT, and some other places. I see from the report we're hearing from Chris that there's improvement. From the reports that I have received from civil society organizations on ground in Ekiti, they say there were instances where the beavers did not perform up to expectation, and that they would bring that to the notice of INEC and encourage them to improve on it. Perhaps that accounts for the 5%. Chris said 95% the beavers lived up to expectation, and I think 95% is an A score. So we would score, going by what Chris has said and some of the reports we're getting from the field, we will score INEC significantly well, even while urging that they should still do the needful to ensure that the beavers improves. We have also heard that because of the beavers, that the process was rapid and smooth. Then another thing to observe also is the voter turnout. That is indicative of increased voter education, that people are becoming more aware and then becoming more committed to their civic responsibility in terms of going out to vote for who leads them, at various levels. And
Ekiti State electorates have done that very well even in the past.
Yeah, so this is really encouraging.
Really encouraging. Okay, let's pause there, David, and go for another quick break on Weekend File. Do stay with us.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
Ooh la la. Good
Bedmates Furniture is here to delight you with super cool luxury furniture you love and desire for that amazing look in your home and office. From 16th May to 25th June 2022, Bedmates brings you the biggest sales of luxury furniture at unbelievable low prices. As we celebrate you, our darling friend and customer, in the 20th anniversary of giving you love and comfort and furniture you're proud of, the moment your guests and loved ones come through your door with their oohs and ahs. Visit Bedmates showrooms now to get furniture that brings life to your home and enjoy delightful gifts like cash bags, beds, sofas, dining tables, and plenty others you love to have.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
Thank you for staying with us. The June 18 governorship election in Ekiti State has been adjudged as generally peaceful and orderly. Temitope Odebumi gives us a general appraisal of the exercise.
The eagerness of the people of Ekiti State to go to the polls to elect the governor that will govern the affairs of the state for another 4 years could be visible on their faces as they are gathered around to exercise their franchise. Electorates conducted themselves in an orderly manner and the exercise was smooth as several polling units visited in Ifaki Ekiti, Ido Ekiti, Ora Ekiti, Igogo Ekiti and Otu Ekiti, except for few places where the electorate complained that the accreditation process with the bimodal accreditation system was slow, but it was later rectified. Some of the voters applauded the conduct of the election.
The voting process was okay. It was peaceful. We have finished voting. It remains counting now. We thank God everything went peacefully.
I come here very early so that because of Russia, so that I will look my name, then I vote, I go back in time without wasting my time.
I cannot assess the totality of election from just coming to the polling unit and voting. I have performed my civic responsibility, but I see it was orderly.
The aged, nursing mothers, people living with disabilities participated in the process and were given priority. Sorting and counting of votes were ongoing at the time of filing this report, with people eagerly waiting for the announcement of results by the electoral umpire. In Ado Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
We're still with David Akoji, the Special Assistant to the Director General, National Orientation Agency. David, going by what is happening right now in Ekiti as far as the governorship election is concerned, everybody seems to have judged it as free, fair and credible. Now, the next stage is another crucial one, the collation, counting, and finally announcement or pronouncement of the eventual winner. How do you look at it? How would it turn out?
Well, I'm glad that I did see Shegun, one of the contestants in the governorship election in Ekiti of the SDP party. Even though he put a caveat to say he cannot adjudge from one polling unit, but he did say that it was an orderly and peaceful process. So again, that goes as commendation to INEC. So if Shegun is reporting from his polling unit that the process is orderly and peaceful, and then we have heard other people corroborate that from other polling units, I think that we can satisfactorily say the process thus far is satisfactory. And having come thus far, I'm sure that all the stakeholders, INEC, the contestants, the observers and everybody will see the process through to a successful end to be sure that whoever emerges is truly representative of the opinion and the actions in terms of voting of the majority of the voters in Ekiti at this election. There's been some reported cases of vote buying and vote selling.
Quite a few of instances.
Yes.
It's almost a recurring decimal in the process,
Absolutely.
but it's beginning to thin out nowadays.
Yes. So what it means for us at the National Orientation Agency is we need to intensify sensitization. That's the only way you can get really credible leaders emerging. If the voting public becomes sensitive to the fact that if you take money, you are selling your vote and your future. And if they begin to look at people and to assess them on the basis of their credibility and ability to deliver on the dividends of democracy, we will begin to see improvement in the governance process. So for us, we are looking at that. That's one of the takeaways, for us, we'll improve and really intensify our campaigns against vote buying and vote selling.
Perhaps the nature of voter apathy in what we're seeing today in Ekiti, you could see the aged, the physically challenged, everybody indicating interest to go to exercise their civic responsibility. And what does that say about 2023 going forward?
What it says is that the dynamics might likely change. In previous elections, a lot of times we have seen voter apathy affecting the number of people that go out there. We have seen figures, people imagine as winners based on figures that are really heart-wrenching because majority of the voters didn't turn out, to exercise their franchise. So this that I see happening in Ekiti now is clearly indicative of a significant increase in democratic consciousness. I think people are beginning to link governance outcomes with their participation in elections. So they are beginning to realize the fact that if they want good government, good governance, then they must come out, assess the candidates who are in the contest, and then choose the person that they believe the most, would be able to meet their governance expectations.
Ekiti governorship elections since 1999 has remained peculiar and unique, and in fact comes with surprises and shocks because it is one state in this nation that hardly re-elects, maybe a political party or a governor, so to speak. Do you see that jinx being broken or another record being set?
Ekiti is like Kano in a lot of ways, especially in terms of not having a tradition of voting incumbents, to come back for a second. But the trends are changing, and people are becoming increasingly aware politically, So I do not envisage that there will be a dramatic change. And to a large extent, all the people in the contest are not exactly people who have been, perhaps except for Shegmoni, who has governed Ekiti before now. So I do believe that there wouldn't be such a dramatic change.
Really?
That's my thinking.
Because of course, from the then governor Fayose, then to Fayemi, and then Oni, who is trying to at least replicate what Fayose and Fayemi have done in the past. And SDP, like we hear in this data, is equally making waves. In fact, at some point, it was a tussle between the ruling party there and SDP.
Yeah, I saw that trend. There were some polling units that the figures we're seeing, SDP performed creditably well, significantly well. But I think we need to keep our fingers crossed.
At the moment.
Let's not begin to preempt.
At the moment. So what do we say to INEC moving forward? Because a lot of eyes are on INEC as the umpire right now. 2023 looming around. And then there's another one coming very soon in Oshun. What are the areas you need to advise INEC to sustain what they're doing well? And what are the areas they need to, wake up?
I think that the gains that INEC has recorded with the BVAS machine should be sustained. They shouldn't go to sleep on it or experience regression. This success now, as reported by Chris and corroborated by quite a number of the people we have seen from different polling units, needs to be sustained. So whatever INEC needs to do to ensure that the BVAS performs very well, they should do in between now and Oshun election, to signpost what to expect in the 2023 general election. And I think INEC also need to collaborate with the National Orientation Agency to intensify the campaign against vote buying. If election goes peacefully, if election is credible but marred by the unwholesome incident of large-scale vote buying, then it impinges on the outcome. It will mean that people have been inordinately influenced, against what they believe to be true. So we need to work together with INEC to intensify the campaign against vote buying. I saw some visuals from Ekiti, in Ado Ekiti, some polling units in Ado Ekiti, where the voters were on queue and saying, no, we don't want money.
Yes.
We don't want your money. We're going to vote who we like. We're not taking your money. And that went viral.
Exactly.
And it's encouraging.
Okay. Thank you very much, David.
Yeah.
Thanks indeed for joining us here tonight.
Thank you so much.
Well, we'll be speaking with the Special Assistant to the Director General, National Orientation Agency, David Akoji, tonight on Weekend Farm. Time for one more break on the program. Do stay with us.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponent do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Sports updates with Enejo Aduku is next.
The senior women national team of Nigeria and cup holders, Super Falcons, have commenced training at their country's federal capital territory, Abuja, in readiness for next month's 12th Women African Cup of Nations final holding in Morocco. Head coach Randy Waldrum and assistants have an interesting challenge of player selection with the quality and quantity of players in camp now. A useful blend of the old guard, talented young stars from the home front, and a number of skillful foreign-born stars who have been holding their own brilliantly. As at the time of filing this report, there were 19 players in camp, including Onome Ebi, alongside goalkeepers Chiamaka Nadoze and Tochukwu Oluehi, defenders Osinachi Ohale and Akudo Ogbonna, midfielder Rita Chikwelu and Rashidat Ajibade, and forward Azizat Oshoala and Gift Monday. The Super Falcons are in Group C, alongside South Africa, Burundi and Botswana. Civil servants in the country have been encouraged to engage in regular exercises to help increase productivity at work. This was the submission of stakeholders at the Keep Fit exercise held in Abuja as part of activities to celebrate the 2022 Civil Service Week.
This is the way you can get that healthy body and healthy mind. And a healthy body and a healthy mind will improve productivity in the workplace.
Keeping fit is a must for an active workforce, and it was indeed a good arrangement by first guy.
Health is key to productivity, but this year's own is a combination also of the 2022 Civil Service Week. By July edition, we are going to take the full stretch of our program. That is 4 kilometers walk.
To basketball, when Stephen Curry helped the Warriors beat the Boston Celtics on Thursday, he didn't just secure a 4th NBA title in 8 years for both himself and his team. He also secured 34 points to ensure that he was named the finals most valuable player for the first time in his glittering career. Curry led Warriors from worst to first. Golden State reached the NBA Finals 5 years running from 2015, beating the LeBron James-led Cleveland Cavaliers in 2015, 2017, and 2018. With sports update, Enejo Aduku, NTA News.
Let's take a look at the weather picture across the country.
Welcome to the weather forecast. Sunday morning is expected to be cloudy with sunny spell for much of the day over the north and the north central cities, while the southern cities are expected to start the day with some thick cloud, mostly overcast. As we progress into the day, we have chances of rains over the stretch of the coast, including parts of Enugu, Abia, Imo, Edo, Ondo, and Ogun. Isolated thunderstorms are expected over FCT, Benue, Kogi, and Niger, the northeastern parts of the country, and parts of Sokoto. And that's our bit from here. I'm Safia Sayinusa. Thank you for watching.
That's Weekend File tonight. Thanks indeed for watching. We will be handing over to Efanyu Okafor in continuation of the Ekiti Decides broadcast.
Thank you so much, Kene. You're welcome. And it's the Ekiti Decides here in the network service of the NTA. And now finally, the people of Ekiti State have decided their next governor, as they had discharged their civic duty by electing candidates of their choice. The election, adjudged by many key players as free, fair, and peaceful, commenced on schedule in most of the polling units across the 16 local government areas of the state. Although there were little challenges with the beavers in some polling units, but reports indicate that the challenge was swiftly addressed by the election umpire. Our reports show that the election was concluded in good time, except in areas where technology had issues. Well, at the moment, collation is ongoing at various stages as people await the collation of results at the State Collation Center. We shall join our correspondent to have an update on the process. Thank you for joining us on Ekiti Decide Studio. I am Ifeanyi Okafor.
Okay, hello, good evening. We are here at the INEC collation. Yeah, thank you very much. We are here at the INEC collation. Some of them are equally here, just waiting for the collation to begin. So that's what is happening here at the collection center at INEC office in Ado Ekiti. Well, what we're expecting after now, because the stage is set, is the collation, local governments by local governments. As soon as the results trickle in, of course, INEC will make is no longer a hidden thing. The election has been concluded.